Hello and welcome to SpearCast. We're back again with another episode. I'm your host Christian.
I'm Nick.
And today we're joined by Aaron and Joanna. And we also have a special guest. I'll let Aaron do the introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge episode.
Oh my God.
Joining us today, we have no one else but the voice of SJSU football. If you've read an article about SJSU football this year, it's most likely been from him. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Matt Weiner. Let's go. Thank you for your time.
Oh my God, it's all downhill from here. It's all downhill from here.
Football team wise or SpearCast
No,
wise?
SpearCast wise, my content wise, I've never had an intro like that, so now I don't know how to follow it up.
We'll see what we're talking about, and we'll see how it goes. All right, but obviously, Matt, how are you, sir? You haven't been on here in a while.
Yeah, let's talk some Fresno State. Let's talk some Battle for the Valley.
Yeah,
Battle of the Valley. That's a way to put it.
Yeah. So to start off, like you said, Battle of the Valley. How big is this rivalry for both teams?
We talked about it on Spears earlier today. Like, I don't know if this is really a rivalry at this point anymore. It's a rivalry in name because of the history, and a lot of that goes back to like kind of the 86, 87, just crazy games between San Jose State and Fresno State. There's been a lot of losing on the San Jose State side since then. There was a point, this is insane, from 1991 to 2005 where San Jose State never won a game. And like they've won games here and there. We have the 2013 upset over the David Carr Fresno State led team. But we're just not able to stay consistent. So I don't really know where it's at right now because it's based off social media and things like that, which maybe isn't a great measuring stick. I don't know how many people are like, yes, it's Saturday. I'm going to CFQ Stadium. I want to see the Spartans beat the Bulldogs because they're rivals. I don't know.
It's kind of dying.
Or it could be revived.
Fair.
This is the year that gets the revival of this rivalry going.
And so obviously, top performers coming into this game. Who are they for us?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's Kyrie Robinson. It's Quali Conley. Both running backs. Well, because the last time I was on here, it was a few weeks ago. I think it was right before the win streak started, where it was it's a very simple formula for this team to start winning, and it's run the damn ball. And they have run the damn ball, and they've done a good job running the damn ball. And it's why they've gone from 1-5 to 4-5 heading into their final 3 games of the year.
And my question is, do you think that formula will continue to work against a solid team like Fresno?
I don't know. This is the first test for them. Because Fresno State is amongst the best teams in the Mountain West with their run defense, and the teams that San Jose State has done well against during that 3-game win streak, well, those teams are at the bottom third of the conference. So it's you want to congratulate them for playing better, and obviously they should get a pat on the back for that. But how far does that go? Because, this team is supposed to be good competition, and it's that's where you prove it. This is why that Fresno State game is such a big opportunity for them.
Yeah, speaking of how big an opportunity, how important is this for SJSU season, this game specifically?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you want to show, if we're just kind of really widening the lens and taking it to a donor level and a money level, you want to show donors, if you invest in this program and get this NIL presence up and running and really start to making the presence felt, well, then you're going to be investing in a program that could have big wins, and that's what you kind of do it for. But for bowl implications-wise, you could lose this, and you could still beat San Diego State. They're at 3-6. They're really not that great. UNLV will be on the road in Las Vegas, and they're a better team. But you could still lose this and make a bowl game, 100%.
So realistically, what's our outlook for a bowl game? What do we have to do to get there?
Yeah, exactly. So you could still lose. So it makes the whole bowl aspect a lot easier if you just win this game, because then San Diego State should be a shoo-in win. I think San Jose State, they're going to be hosting them. They will come in as favorites. Might even say they're more than a touchdown favorite coming in. But then you also have to beat UNLV, and UNLV is a really good offense, but they also haven't played a lot of great teams. My whole thing is so they just put up 56 on University of New Mexico last weekend. My whole thing with that is that I'm not sure how much my opinion of them has changed, because after all, we know they're an offensive juggernaut. But then when they played Fresno State, they still put up 24 in their loss to Fresno State. but only 7 second half points. I judge offenses by how good they are in the second half. And I was not very impressed. That's the time. Nobody cares about what a team does in the first half. I mean, for the I shouldn't say nobody cares, but I'm sorry, you got it. Like, that's the time. Kind of like with this run game, like, to prove who you are in the second half of the game.
Sure. And then to switch from offense to defense,
Yeah.
last week San Jose State pitched a shutout. How do you think our defense will fare against Fresno's offense?
I don't know. This is another, because you're kind of sensing the theme of it's a prove it game for the most part because of the strength of schedule of we're going from start out the year great teams, then we sunk, and then we played some teams that aren't great in strength of schedule wise, and now we're rising back up to Fresno State. If just for this defense to show what it did against Utah State, New Mexico, and then most recently against Hawaii with that shutout, well, now you have to see, can you stop Malik Sherrod, Fresno State's running back? Really, really good as of late. He's gone for 120-plus rushing yards in 3 of his last 5 games. One of those was last weekend against Boise State, and Fresno State put up 37 on Boise State. So that's just where this defense has to show is that, can you be good against good competition?
And then how much do you think the bye week that we had is going to help us?
Huge. Because when you're at the point of the season, everybody is essentially dealing with something that you pick up throughout the year. And it's not something as big as, it's not necessarily, it's more so ticky-tacky injuries. But ticky-tacky injuries when you're playing football pile up, and you get sore. So, thank God for week 0, because that's why we have this bye week right now, because you got 2 bye weeks because of that week 0 game. And I think everybody's thanking their lucky stars for this one.
Yeah, definitely.
And now then going back to how important this game is, with Fresno State being ranked number 25, how big is it? How big would it be to beat them, especially now that they're nationally ranked?
Huge. That can't be stated enough. This is where you just show that your fan base that, hey, we're legit. We are a legitimate team that drives some of that interest of you upset a ranked rival. That goes a long way with your fan base, because talking to a lot of San Jose State fans and some of the San Jose State fans here, some of their best memory is in 2013, like we mentioned before. San Jose State upsets Fresno State at home. And people remember that. So I think maybe take money aside, it gives fans a reason to tune in. Who wants to tune into a rivalry where it's a name only? But you're going to want to tune into a rivalry when it means something, because you're beating these teams and then you're finally the underdog who's on the upswing.
So I know you talked about this on the Spear Center episode today, but can you reiterate this for our lovely SpearCast listeners out there right now? I know this is a huge underdog game. You're just talking about that, but in your honest opinion, do we have a shot? What do we need to do correct in order to have a shot?
Yeah, so we do have a shot. I was surprised. I thought the line was going to be bigger. I looked today, and we're only 2-point underdogs.
Wow.
And so some of that is probably the home boost. Obviously, I don't know how much that contributes, but I thought it was going to be more. There is 100% a shot. I just don't think we have what it takes. And that's not a discredit to the team. As I was saying on Spear Center, that's more of a pat on the back to Fresno State. I think they're a legitimately good team. And they have a couple more games. I think there is a possibility where they could end up in a New Year's Six Day Bowl.
We can cut this if it doesn't make sense, but it's a question I kind of had. So you mentioned that we're a really heavy run team. We run the ball a lot. So do you believe that's because of our running back solely, or is it because the offensive line is kind of protecting him more?
Yeah, it's a good question, because why have we transitioned? So yes, the running backs have been good. We also have a very veteran offensive lineman. There's a bunch of guys who have been there forever. But I think it's also essentially when you're game planning, it's what are our strengths? And I think they're starting to realize we just don't have a wide receiving core, as it was kind of shown, that could really lead us all the way to a victory. We're going to have to rely on our run game to establish that, and then work off play action. We've seen multiple play action touchdowns. I think it's a little bit more. I think you can't forget that it has to do with just Justin Lockhart, who came into the year preseason all-conference selection. Well, he goes out with the season-ending injury in August. and the wide receiver corps just wasn't there. And that's fine because now we've pivoted.
More fun question. What is
Okay,
your
let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That was too much football.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like a warm up one. What is your opinion on the design of the Battle for the Valley trophy? Excuse me.
Oh my God, this is yeah.
The trophy?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so like the design of the trophy as it is right now, it's like metallic, and then one side is something that kind of looks like a nano chip, like the inside of that, and then the other side is like various things that represent agriculture. Obviously for the Fresno State side. I had an idea. It was in one column I did last year where I did a Photoshop. Is that what you're referencing?
I was not aware of this.
I did such it was so bad, but
If we can get it, we can probably put it on the video.
yeah. No, we'll throw it up right here and insert this. But yeah, so it was essentially like you have the chip, this like a real life chip, but then you also have like a stack of or like ribs. And so instead of like having metal, like it was this really dumb thing, but you actually have like find a way to have like brown like ribs that you would eat. So that would So I think that would be sick because then you could have somebody like taking a bite out of the ribs.
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool like photo opportunity. I mean, just like center field and eating on Fresno State's logo if you were San Jose State, or vice versa, just eating a bunch of ribs. Like it's kind of like Thanksgiving games.
I was literally about to say that's essentially what it is.
All right, Matt. And you're on to more serious matters, right?
Okay.
If they got into a fight, who do you think would win? A bulldog or a Spartan?
I mean, it's no debate.
I mean, okay,
I'm not.
No equipment, no nothing, just.
They don't have a spear.
I don't have a
It's
well, I mean,
straight hands.
okay.
But it's a bulldog from their logo, just straight muscular.
Oh, then-
It's like the size of the inflatable that they run out of in Fresno.
Okay, well, obviously, like no human can stand against that.
Okay, no, seriously though. Let's say, we got because obviously
I feel bad because like this involves a dog.
Yeah.
We're like getting into
Okay,
like
how
animal
can we make this
cruelty,
not
like
Mascot
territory.
versus mascot. Like if the two met at midfield, who's taking down who?
I mean, like we
I don't know. Well, like
depends
I don't
who's
know.
in the costume.
Yeah, exactly. Like we wasn't like what if somebody is like doing it on the side and just like moonlighting as like some MMA star?
Okay. Follow-up question to that.
Okay.
Who you got in the fight? The Fresno State Bulldog or the SJSU Duck? I'm talking the guy.
okay.
Ooh.
I'm talking Bulldog mascot guy, but then we got our Duck guy, who you guys had on the podcast earlier. He comes out, starts giving the Bulldog the work. Like, who you got on top there?
Dude, this is literally turning into like a Joe Rogan, like just who wins in a fight, just like a bunch of people.
I think
Yeah.
the duck has that dog in him. So,
Ooh.
so he
Oh
would
my
win.
God.
I don't.
Infinitely
Bar.
would win.
I mean, I think there would be a lot of hatred in the duck too. He wouldn't
Yeah.
even say the word Fresno on this podcast.
Yeah, he is just.
It would be fueling him.
So just like on motivation factor alone, I think you gotta take him, right? Are we being
I mean,
biased?
okay,
Tell us
I
we're
don't know.
being
Well,
biased.
like, okay, what is this bulldog? That's the thing I can't keep getting. Like, he has thumbs. We have to realize that. Like, I feel like sometimes thumbs do go a long way than teeth. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Wait, hold on. What's his name?
What are we doing?
What's his name?
Okay, let's.
Okay, we I don't know.
Who has the better stadium?
Who is a better stadium?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be Fresno.
That's fair.
It's. I mean, I don't know. Have any of you guys ever been to it?
I've seen
I've been
photos.
outside it.
Outside, it's so much nice. I mean, yeah, it's what it is. Like, their stadium is nicer than ours. I'm okay with saying that. They also have a lot of different funding than we do.
Who has the better color scheme? Us or them?
The better color scheme.
For the colleges.
I'm
Personally,
a blue
yellow,
guy.
they're-
I'm a blue guy.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go SJSU.
Personally, I'm gonna go Fresno just because my favorite color is red. Honestly,
Wow.
my favorite color is red. What
Your
can I
favorite
say?
color's red?
Yeah.
That's
I
okay.
love
Respect.
San Jose State, but it's such an eyesore to look at on merch where they're like, here's the coolest design.
Hot
And it's just blue
take.
and yellow.
I don't know if we can publish this anymore, man. All right, Matt, you're stranded on a desert island. You can only take
Okay.
3 San Jose State football players or staff members with you. Who are you taking and why?
Jesus. Okay. Desert Island 3. I'm gonna take Jaime Navarro because he would be fun. He's just like such an interesting random guy that we'd probably I would never run out of things to like ask him about, and then he would just have like weird theories on things. So that's like your kill time guy. I would want somebody serious and who's down to business to like look for shelter. So I'd probably go with Jose Amalo. He's somebody who strikes me as like just point like how do we get this thing done. How do we figure this thing out? And then C, you kind of need a wild card. Who would I want as a wild card? I don't know. I'll throw like. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm going to go, like, whoever's the smallest person on the team, like, weighs the least. That way, like, I could take his food ration. Or, like, he wouldn't need that much food. Well, because, like, yeah, like, I was about to say Fernando, but it's like, no, if we have to ration
He's taking your food.
Too often.
He's taking your food.
You don't want 2 offensive linemen just for, like, food's sake. Yeah.
Really good point.
Hey,
actually.
Kyrie's only 5'7" and 189. So.
Yeah, but there has to be a cornerback who's there. Like,
Yeah.
maybe
What about
Dansby.
Ooh, what about the punter?
Okay, so like maybe.
Alex
Well, I
Weir.
mean, it depends on like if Taryn eats less or Alex Weir. If Alex Weir eats less than Taryn, I'll go with Alex Weir. Whoever eats the least amount of food on the team.
I feel like if you're skinnier, though, your metabolism's just faster. So it's not that they're eating less. It's just that it's
They
not
just process
packed.
faster.
So we gotta
Or like
find
the
a good
smallest
counterpoint.
appetite. Whoever has the smallest appetite, I'll roll with them.
And then what would it take for us for the there I
Yeah,
go.
it's osmosis.
For the football team in order to flip that prediction? Like what would it realistically take on both sides of the ball?
Okay, immediately you have to be able to stop Fresno's run game all 4 quarters. And then on top, and so it's like I'm saying it's mostly on our defense. I think out of both sides to really step up, I'm going to have to go with our defense. Really going to have to go with our defense after seeing just their struggles during that like 3-game span where they just collapsed in the second half, allowed so many points, so many rushing yards. Yeah, step up. And if they do, then I really think we have a great chance of winning.
All right. Joe, Aaron, score predictions?
I'm going to go, let's say defensive battle. Not really. I'm going to go Fresno State. Let's go 27. San Jose State 20. I say we keep it close. I have faith.
Okay.
I so badly want it to be just like a number off.
So what you
I
got?
don't know.
Say 2-2, 2 safety tie.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That would be
Just the
wild.
Iowa versus Illinois game.
Exactly.
I would love that this is what brings back that rivalry is if it's just they stop playing at a tie. They're just like, sorry guys, we're just gonna leave.
Christian?
So we have a tie.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's
Resolution
impossible
tie.
in college football
Yeah,
because
'cause
of the
you're not a-
overtimes.
Oh.
Oh, I led you astray there. That's my bad.
Yeah, you messed me up.
All right, Christian, what you got?
Wait, no, I want to hear
I'll
it.
think on it. I'll think on it. Give me a bit. Let me do math.
We'll let her think.
What's your prediction?
Mine?
Yeah.
Can you say it in the mic?
Probably 2010.
2010. You know what? I think this game might go into overtime, too.
Ooh.
So Spartan's on top. Spartan's on top. You Spartan it up, Christian?
Oh yeah, all right, my fault. For my prediction, Fresno.
I don't think so. I think
What? Come on.
48, 41. Would that be an overtime score? Yeah, that would.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
that would
yeah.
be. That's a one.
I think that might be what I'd go with.
Damn, we're gonna see a boat race. Well, I mean, because my
22-17?
fear with like something turn into
that
like
possible?
just a huge back and forth, like 30
Yeah.
plus point game, and just back and forth, is the fact that I don't know if we have a wide receiving core that could like. It would be shocked if we put up all those 41 points with a run game. I mean, you'll really need to see a big night from probably Nick Nash. Like that would be his like Nick Nash, I'm him game.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And then, do you think that Cordero could obviously like find all the receivers in like where there be like
Yeah.
no matter where it is?
Oh, definitely. But for the most part, like there's a legitimate chance here for San Jose State to show up and to a certain extent shock the world.
I'm gonna go 10 points lower than yours, 21-17.
21. Okay.
Fresno.
Okay.
Okay.
Fresno.
All right. Well, I mean, we can obviously check back next week to see how we do because the game's Saturday, right?
Saturday, 7:30, SFQ Stadium, CBS Sports.
Cool.
Charlie Rogers
Thank you.
touchdown. You heard it here first. Read my story when it's published. I'm writing a profile on him. Free plug.
First score?
No, he's gonna go second score of the third quarter. There's one touchdown Fresno State. He gets one. It's gonna be a 15-yard little play action pass. They run the same exact play. Fresno State wasn't watching tape. They got caught sleeping. Boom, right back to him.
What are the chances of this like actually happening?
All right,
mean,
Coach
I would love a
Aaron.
bet like that. That if you lost, you just let one of them tackle you.
Yeah.
That was
Like, you're on.
my idea for a video package. I wanted to do that, but there's no way Sky would approve that. We're getting off topic. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, now going back to Aaron's prediction, is something like that possibly like realistic? Holding them to a 1 touchdown game going to the third.
Or if keeping it within one possession?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, I mean, we're gonna see how it goes Saturday. Again, we want to thank Matt for coming on to the podcast for our Fresno preview.
Voice of SJSU football, ladies and gentlemen.
It only goes up from here, Matt. Don't worry.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Matt. Well,
I hope so.
Well, hopefully we can have you back on for the end of the season. You know, do a little season recap depending on how good we do.
Or like a bowl preview.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, there's still chances. All right, Matt. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, of course.
Man, that Matt Weiner guy sure is a really interesting fellow, man. He sure knows his SJSU football. But let's transition to another form of SJSU football. I guess you could call it that, but we call it soccer. Let's talk about the men's performance in the WAC tournament.
Yeah, you know, it was a very short appearance. You know, only a first round contention. We made it to first round, and we obviously got dropped by Utah Tech. It was a short game at that. It was a 1-0 loss, which sucked, in our opinion, considering we go here. But you know what? It was cool because, you know, 7th straight appearance. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, too bad it wasn't much of a game for us. We didn't score a goal, and they only scored 1 goal in the first half. But it was still nice to, like you said, 7th straight appearance. It's nice to be there 7 straight years.
Yeah, and then, you know, senior David Sweeney, you know, he did collect 3 saves in that game. So, you know, he was putting in the work.
Yeah.
He was definitely putting in the work for that game for us, and it was definitely something that, you know, it's monumentous because, you know, he's just adding to those 3 he added to his record-breaking season.
Yeah, definitely. He's just adding to that, like, you know, greatest goalie of all time here at San Jose State number.
Yeah, so then what did you guys think of the game?
Just kind of rough, man. I mean, like, there's not much, like, to really talk about. I mean, like, Utah Tech, you know, they're ranked 3rd. You know, they're a very good team, you know. But, I mean, there was one point where I was, like, unsure if SJSU would even, like, be in this position. So I guess just, like, getting here was, like, a success, really. But, you know, I just wish we could have done something a little more. But I don't know, man. Just 1-0 loss is kind of tough. It's not really much to bring up. We're just outclassed, really.
Outclass is crazy.
Hey, man.
Joe, what'd you think?
It's disappointing. Like, as a student here, you want to see your team succeed, obviously. But just the team getting to that point in itself is something to celebrate. So.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, hopefully next year we're gonna have some better chances.
Yep.
We definitely have a lot of guys, a lot of young guys that were able to perform this season. But you know, so I mean, it's only ups from here. Of course, we're losing a big goalie in Sweeney, but at the same time, you know, it's definitely something good. I could imagine that he's felt like he's leaving off very well.
Yeah, definitely. Next man up mentality too for next year's team. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's anything else you guys want to touch on?
Just gonna leave it there.
All right. Well, that's gonna be this episode of SpearCast, episode number 8, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we're moving strong.
Yep.
So we appreciate again Matt Weiner for coming on again and supporting us, and then coming on for football talk. And again, I'm your host Nick.
I'm Christian.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Joanna.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later. Peace.